What's happening?
I'm getting out of here, that's what.
Amid the glittering spotlight of the 1960s, Claudine Longet's soft Parisian voice captivated audiences across America.
Un amour, un sourire, une fleur que rien n'a pu faner.
Just one decade later, her name became the center of nationwide controversy after a tragic gunshot echoed through the snow-covered mountains of Aspen.
Claudine Longet has been convicted of negligent homicide, a lesser charge than the one on which she was tried. Eric Burns has more.
In the middle of relentless public judgment, the most remarkable part of the story was the unwavering presence of the man who held the most important place in her life. The one who chose to stand by her side no matter the cost. What truly sustained that extraordinary bond for more than half a century. Join us as we turn back the clock and uncover the full story. In the early 1960s, Claudine left France to pursue new opportunities in the United States. She joined the famous Folies Bergère Revue at the Tropicana Hotel in Las Vegas as its lead dancer. The young French performer quickly attracted attention with her elegant presence and distinctive appearance among the city's vibrant entertainment scene. While performing as the lead dancer in the Folies Bergère production at the Tropicana Hotel in Las Vegas, Claudine Longet met Andy Williams. According to multiple accounts, their meeting took place after her car broke down on the roadside, and Andy Williams stopped to help. That first encounter quickly developed into a romantic relationship, making them one of the couples most closely followed by the American media in the early 1960s. On December 15, 1961, Claudine Longet and Andy Williams were married in Bel Air, California. She was only 19 years old, while Andy Williams was 34 and already one of America's most celebrated singers. Their age difference did not stand in the way as they quickly built the image of a family admired by the public. After their wedding, the couple settled in Malibu and began building their family life. They welcomed their first daughter, Noelle, followed by Christian, and later their son, Bobby, whose full name was Robert. He was named after Senator Robert F. Kennedy, who shared a close friendship with the family. Alongside her family life, Claudine steadily built a career of her own in the entertainment industry. She became a frequent guest on The Andy Williams Show, one of the most popular television programs in America at the time. Their duets and the annual Christmas specials introduced Claudine to millions of viewers across the country. Claudine's music career flourished with Andy Williams' support. She signed with A&M Records and soon released a series of well-received recordings. Her gentle voice, intimate style, and unmistakable French charm gave her a distinctive identity in the rapidly growing pop music scene of the era. The album Claudine became the biggest commercial success of her career. It reached number 11 on the Billboard chart and earned a gold certification. Songs such as Hello, Hello and Love is Blue helped establish Claudine as more than the wife of a television star. In addition to music, Claudine expanded her career into film. In 1968, she played Michelle Monet in Blake Edwards' comedy The Party, starring alongside Peter Sellers. The film later became a classic and introduced Claudine to a wider audience as an actress. Outside the entertainment industry, Claudine and Andy Williams maintained a close friendship with Robert F. Kennedy and Ethel Kennedy. That relationship brought them into the circle of several major political and social events in the United States. Claudine frequently attended gatherings with the Kennedy family and was regarded as a close family friend. On the night of June 5, 1968, Claudine was at the Ambassador Hotel in Los Angeles when Senator Robert F. Kennedy was assassinated following his victory speech in the California presidential primary. She remained at the hospital while doctors fought to save his life, and later attended his funeral, becoming one of the witnesses to one of America's most shocking tragedies. Behind that picture of a happy family growing distance had begun to emerge in their marriage, setting the stage for a major turning point in the lives of both Claudine Longet and Andy Williams. a marriage falls apart. By the early 1970s, the marriage between Claudine Longet and Andy Williams had begun to show clear signs of strain. After years of sharing both family life and successful careers, the couple decided to separate. Claudine remained at the Malibu home with their 3 children, while Andy devoted most of his time to concert tours and television work. The growing distance between them was not driven by public arguments or headline-making scandals. Years later, Andy Williams admitted that the main reason was his demanding work schedule. Constant touring television productions and long periods away from home gradually weakened their family life. In later interviews, Andy repeatedly accepted responsibility for what had happened. He simply said, "It was all my fault." That statement has been quoted many times in articles about their marriage, reflecting his willingness to accept responsibility instead of placing the blame on Claudine. Even after they stopped living together, Claudine continued appearing in several The Andy Williams Show specials. Viewers still saw her in the Christmas programs during the early 1970s, showing that their professional partnership remained intact after their separation. Her continued appearances on television also reflected the way the two handled life after separating. They never turned their personal situation into a public controversy. Andy continued inviting his former wife to participate in his productions, while Claudine maintained a professional image during every appearance alongside him. Away from the television cameras, both continued placing their family responsibilities first. Andy Williams provided financial support for their 3 children and continued assisting Claudine under the terms of their arrangements. The two worked together to raise Noel Christian and Bobby, making every effort to provide a stable environment for them. Friends of the Williams family later recalled that Claudine and Andy stayed in regular contact regarding their children. Important family decisions were made together rather than allowing personal differences to affect their children's lives. That approach helped preserve mutual respect between them for many years. In January 1975, their marriage officially came to an end with their divorce. After more than 13 years together, they legally ended their relationship as husband and wife. Even so, many people observed that their separation remained far more peaceful than many other high-profile divorces in the entertainment industry. Following the divorce, Andy Williams was frequently asked about his relationship with Claudine. He consistently maintained the same position and avoided making controversial remarks. One of his most frequently quoted statements was, "She is the mother of my children, and we never stopped being friends. We just didn't want to be married anymore." That statement soon became Andy Williams's definition of their relationship after the marriage ended. To him, ending a marriage did not mean ending a friendship or abandoning family responsibilities. His perspective also set the two apart from many other celebrity couples of their era. Their youngest son, Bobby Williams, later shared his memories of growing up in that family environment. According to him, his parents always treated each other warmly after the divorce. Bobby even believed they had never divorced because they continued appearing together during important family occasions. After their marriage came to an end, Claudine began building a new life. That decision eventually brought her to Aspen, where she met the man who would change the course of the rest of her life. The second man. In 1972, Claudine Longet and Vladimir "Spider" Sabic met at a celebrity ski event in Bear Valley, California. The gathering brought together many entertainers, athletes, and well-known public figures. Their relationship developed quickly after that first meeting, and soon became a subject followed closely by the press. At the time, Sabic was one of America's most celebrated alpine skiers, following his Olympic appearances and success on the professional circuit, while Claudine was still widely recognized as a singer and actress. After finalizing her divorce from Andy Williams in 1975, Claudine moved to Aspen with her 3 children to live with Sabic at his chalet in the exclusive Starwood community. At that time, Aspen was emerging as one of the most prestigious resort destinations in the United States, attracting business leaders, entertainers, and sports stars. With both of them already enjoying public recognition, Claudine and Sabich quickly became one of the most talked-about couples in the local community. Although they lived together for several years, they never married. Sabich was a few years younger than Claudine, and after retiring from competitive skiing, shifted his focus to business ventures, promoting the sport and investing in projects around Aspen. He remained a familiar face at sporting events and was often seen with friends and members of the media. Claudine, in contrast, stepped away from the entertainment industry. She accepted very few new projects and devoted most of her time to raising her 3 children and settling into life in Colorado. Their home soon became a popular gathering place for friends, athletes, and many well-known figures. According to people who frequently visited the Starwood Chalet, Sabich was known for his outgoing personality, his love of hosting parties, and his willingness to welcome guests. Many described him as generous, energetic, and deeply devoted to an active social life that continued long after his retirement from competitive skiing. As the years passed, differences between the two gradually became more apparent. Some friends said Claudine hoped to build a more settled life after the end of her first marriage, while Sabich was not ready to enter another marriage. Several people close to him recalled that Sabich valued his independence, remained highly social, and continued the lifestyle he had enjoyed as a sports star. Their different expectations for the future gradually created growing distance within the relationship. By early 1976, according to skiing coach Bob Beatty and several of Sabich's close friends, the couple had entered a period marked by mounting pressure and frequent disagreements about their future. Even so, they continued living together in the Starwood home. Only a short time later, that same house became the scene of a fatal shooting that shocked the nation and marked the beginning of one of the most widely discussed cases in the history of American entertainment and sports. The fatal shot. On the morning of March 21, 1976, police received a report of a shooting at Spider Sabich's chalet in the Starwood community of Aspen, Colorado. When emergency responders arrived, Vladimir Spider Sabich had suffered a serious gunshot wound to the abdomen. Claudine Longet, his girlfriend, was present at the scene. According to the investigation, the bullet was fired from Sabich's .22 caliber Luger pistol. The shot struck his abdomen and caused severe internal injuries. Although he was rushed to the hospital, Sabich died on the way. He was 31 years old, bringing the life of one of America's best-known skiing stars to an end. Investigators also confirmed that Claudine's eldest daughter, Noelle, was inside the house when the shooting occurred. She was not in the bathroom when the gun was fired. That detail appeared repeatedly during the investigation, but did not alter the central facts of the case. Immediately after the incident, Claudine Longet told police that it had been an accident. According to her statement, Spider Sabich was showing her how to use the pistol when it unexpectedly discharged. Claudine maintained that explanation throughout the investigation and the court proceedings that followed. Prosecutors rejected that account and charged Claudine with reckless manslaughter, arguing that she bore criminal responsibility for Sabich's death. The case quickly became headline news across the United States. National media outlets closely followed every new development from Aspen. As public criticism intensified, one unexpected figure stepped forward to openly support Claudine. It was not her attorney or a new member of her family. It was Andy Williams, her former husband, whose divorce had been finalized a little more than a year earlier. His decision surprised many people in both the entertainment industry and the media. From the earliest days of the case, Andy Williams stated that he believed the shooting had been an accident. He publicly expressed his belief that Claudine had never intended to cause Spider Sabich's death. He maintained that position throughout the investigation and the entire court process. Andy did far more than speak publicly in her defense. According to multiple sources, he paid all of Claudine's legal expenses throughout the trial. It was a significant commitment in a case that attracted intense media attention and continued for several months. During the court proceedings, reporters frequently photographed Andy Williams accompanying Claudine to and from the courthouse almost every day. He remained calm at her side in front of cameras and persistent questions from the press. His constant presence became one of the most memorable images associated with the trial. In January 1977, the case finally went to trial. After reviewing the testimony and evidence, the jury declined to convict Claudine of reckless manslaughter as originally charged. Instead, she was found guilty of negligent homicide, a lesser offense under the law at that time. Claudine was sentenced to 30 days in jail and fined $250. The court allowed her to choose when to serve her sentence, primarily on weekends, reducing the impact on her family responsibilities. The ruling immediately sparked divided reactions across the United States. After the trial came to an end, Claudine gradually stepped away from public attention. She chose a far more private life, while her remarkable connection with Andy Williams continued in a way that few people could have expected. Love never ended. In June 1985, Claudine married Ronald D. Austin, the attorney who had defended her in the Spider Savage case. After their wedding, the couple continued living primarily in the Aspen area. They maintained a private lifestyle for many years and rarely appeared at major entertainment events. In addition to their home in Colorado, Claudine and Ronald Austin also spent time in Hawaii. Her life became completely different from the years when she frequently appeared on national television. In the years that followed, she almost disappeared from the entertainment industry, choosing a quiet, private life instead of returning to the spotlight. Even as each moved forward with a separate life, the relationship between Claudine and Andy Williams continued. They remained in contact, shared responsibilities for their children, and reunited during many family occasions. Friends and relatives consistently confirmed that the mutual respect between them never faded after their divorce. Andy Williams also reflected on that relationship in his memoir, Moon River and Me, published in 2009. In the book, he wrote positively about Claudine and expressed his admiration for her decision to remain in Aspen, where the memories of the case continued to surround her. Andy never changed the position he had taken after the trial. He continued to regard Claudine as the mother of his children and one of the most important friends in his life. His comments in the memoir once again showed that the bond between them survived their divorce and everything that followed. On September 25, 2012, Andy Williams passed away after battling bladder cancer. His death brought to a close more than half a century of connection with Claudine Longet. Even though they had not been husband and wife for many years, she remained one of the people widely regarded as having had the deepest influence on his life. Claudine's family also experienced more heartbreaking losses in the years that followed. On July 23, 2019, her son, Christian Williams, passed away in Costa Rica. The family confirmed the news but did not release many details. His death marked another major loss for those closest to her. Some sources later reported that her daughter, Noelle Williams, passed away around 2023. That information was never widely announced by the family and has not appeared consistently across public records. Her youngest son, Bobby Williams, remains the surviving child of Claudine and Andy Williams. Also in 2023, Claudine placed her Red Mountain Ranch in Aspen on the real estate market. The property was initially listed for approximately $80 million before the asking price was reduced to about $59.5 million. It became one of the most valuable properties associated with the private life she had maintained for decades. On May 14, 2026, Claudine Longet passed away at the age of 84. The news was announced by her grandson, Brian Longet. The family did not disclose the cause of her death and chose not to organize major public events, reflecting the private life she had embraced during her final years. Claudine Longuet's story remains one of the most controversial chapters in American entertainment history. She experienced a remarkable career, endured life-changing tragedies, and chose to live quietly until her final days. While some questions may never receive complete answers, history continues to show that the extraordinary bond between her and Andy Williams never truly disappeared. What do you think kept Andy standing by Claudine's side for so many decades? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy stories about famous figures and the little-known chapters of their lives, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our upcoming videos.